Hi, my name is Rania and welcome to the Naval Families Federation's Warrior Program Review podcast, in which we will be reviewing the Warrior Program. If you haven't heard of the Warrior Program before, it's basically a program that is aimed at helping individuals to manage their emotions, develop resilience and focus, as well as motivation. And it has been developed over the past 10 years to meet the demands and challenges experienced by past and present members of the Armed Forces community. I'm here with my colleague Natalie, who is a naval spouse, and I'm a naval child, and we will be both discussing our experiences of taking part in the Warrior Program and what we learned and how it's helped us in our daily lives as well. This is also our very first podcast, so we do hope you enjoy it. How did you find it on the first day? I know that was, I think it's something you have to have a really open mind with.
Yeah, I think if I was to give any advice, is just go in with an open mind and don't try not to sort of tell people too much about it, because I think you have to go in with that really sort of blank canvas, as we say, to be able to get the most out of it, I think. If you go with preconceptions, you might be a bit reluctant to sort of let yourself jump into it.
I know on the very first day for me, it was something I was like raising sort of eyebrows at, but like, it's very interesting, because it was very much all psychological and things. So you definitely have to sort of be open, because it definitely talks about a lot of topics you wouldn't necessarily expect it to.
Yeah.
But do you want to talk through briefly about what sort of things we did during the Warrior Program?
Yeah, so I did mine back in March. So it was a while ago. But I think it was just I thought it was looking back at previous sort of experiences, challenges, and how that impacts what I do sort of subconsciously now, and obviously trying to let them go, to be able to look at things differently, and be able to approach challenges differently. And it's a hard one, because there's a lot to it and it's quite complex, but it is very interesting learning about. I quite like the impressionable years that they talked about. So obviously things that happen that you don't actually think about now, but somewhere in our amazing brains it is sitting there, and obviously when you go to do something, this little thing pops up and goes, no, shouldn't do that. Well, actually, the Warrior Program helps you pick up on that and say, actually, no, I can give it a go. It's okay if I don't get it right first time, but I can push through their barriers.
Yeah, definitely. It was learning a lot of different techniques and sort of how to kind of rewire your thinking as well, I think. Like you said, just to stop thinking of negative stuff, or just to stop, having your brain full of all these different thoughts. It kind of helps you learn to, meditate, because we did a lot of meditating stuff, didn't we, as well?
I found that really relaxing as well, just to be able to take that time out, isn't it?
Yeah, because I never thought I would meditate ever in my life, to be honest. Something I never really considered, but it actually was really helpful. Especially they kind of go through the whole, what is it called? Like the root cause, in sort of the past and the future, and kind of like traveling in between those points. That was really interesting. It was actually really hard. Like I got a massive headache, so it is really emotionally draining, and you get to see everyone else's journeys as well, and what they talk about, because obviously you are set up into sort of groups, and everyone sort of talks about how they've processed the certain situation that you're put in, and it is quite refreshing, or insightful as well when you listen to other people. It's like, I actually suffer from that as well, or I actually experience that as well. Or some people, you just gain new insights as well from different people, and they say certain things, and you don't realise that, that's actually,
it was good. And I think even to the point of when you were doing them meditations and like visualizations, that everybody's different. So some people are really visual and can visualize like, these things that happen, but other people just get a feeling. But obviously it's just because I found it difficult at first. I was like, I don't really see anything. She's not allowed to see. You have to see. Just because one person doesn't mean that's how everybody. So it's how you interpret it. But just going through, letting yourself go through that process. And trying not to stop with it. I am definitely with you that it is. I was emotionally tired.
It was emotionally.
And not in a negative way. It's a real positive way because it's
training your brain. It really is training.
And having
your
some
mind.
time just solely on you without the work pressures or all everything else, life pressure that's going on. It's just you and your thoughts, which I don't think a lot of us give ourselves time to do. In the life that we lead today, and obviously busy lives, especially with military as well. Obviously, because you're always like with a lot of other stuff going on. So no, I did enjoy the meditations. Have you carried on meditating since?
Not really, to be honest, but I do sort of do the, what is it called? Like I don't really take the whole time out, but there'll be certain things that I'll like notice, and then I'll actually just sit for a bit and do it in that moment. But I don't actually take the time out.
What was that? The heart breathing?
Sort
of thing. Just trying to
that was the funniest thing to do, I think. So I say you have to go with open mind because you're going to be catching yourself doing some things like, what am I doing?
Didn't expect to do this on a Wednesday.
Exactly.
But no, it is. I think it's a really hard program to explain. I think if someone wants to give or needs to give themselves a little bit of time, reset whatever that may be, it might be with move location, start a new career, or looking to start a new career, I think it's a really good program just to clear the mind a little bit and be able to refocus on whatever that is that you want to achieve. And that for everybody, I don't know if yourself and your group, ours there's a lot of ranging like sort of goals people had, from starting new businesses, just starting a new job, looking for a job, just getting out of bed in the morning, and obviously getting through that day-to-day life. So the spectrum is massive, so don't feel that your goal isn't good enough or big enough to benefit from it. I think everybody can benefit from it.
Definitely. There was loads of different people coming from lots and lots of different parts of life. You had spouses, and you had like people who were serving, people who, you know, didn't have any kids, or me, I'm a serving child, you know, seeing not an actual child, but and some, there was like, going back to the sort of visualizing thing, there was someone in my group actually, he had a very hard time actually visualizing things because of what he'd went through in his serving experience. And I think like it also kind of helps to sort of give you an identity outside of your work, because I think he struggled a lot with that. Because I know one of the main things one of the biggest exercises you do is like writing down your values and sort of doing that sort of rating system. And it was hard for a lot of people who maybe were serving or did serve, because one of the main things was they actually found it hard to sort of separate their own values from what they've been. Exactly. So it definitely helps to give you an identity of who you actually are, instead of, you know, always being at work. So it kind of helps you to separate that, which can be helpful.
And I think also with the values, it helps you understand that what's your core values, or your top three is not necessarily another person's top three. So it helps you like understand, well, actually, I'd expect that from somebody, but actually that's not a big priority to them. So I think that was quite an interesting. I think that helps just not even just in work, but in personal relationships.
Definitely.
Like obviously being able to go, well, actually, it's not because they're doing it just because they're not they're trying to wind me up, or they're trying to it's because actually in their priority it doesn't fit where it does for you.
Yeah.
So I thought that was quite a good exercise, and seeing like again the broad spectrum of where people place different values.
Yeah, because it was about how far away you were from it and how towards you are, wasn't it? So it was really hard to get your head around it, but it was actually quite useful because it did get you thinking in a different way than you normally do. So yeah, and it was, I think there was one guy as well, he was like the whole, you don't expect people to have different values, you kind of think, oh well, it's common sense, like, you know, for family, you know, you should have like love there, or I don't know, laughter, but some people, they don't necessarily see that as something they need in their top value. So it was quite interesting, I think, for him to just see and be like, oh actually that's right, like I never really even considered that, because you just kind of assume everybody has the same thing, or the similar sort of things as well.
I think we talk about like society's values, don't we?
Exactly.
Obviously, I think we always think of that, or our work values. Obviously, we have ours, like every company has their core values. People think that, but actually,
so what are your own like sort of thing? So interesting. But was there anything else that stood out?
I think it was good to meet, as I say, other people that have gone through, in some ways, similar experiences with being obviously military in one way or another, but also the differences that obviously that brings. I think the biggest thing for me was just taking that time out to focus on me, because at the time, obviously, we had like COVID, and obviously I was made redundant and started a whole new career, and there's a lot going on, and actually it was good to actually just sit and focus on me, and I'm obviously grateful for obviously Wayne to give me that time to do it. And I think the ongoing support that's there, obviously it's not just you do the warrior program and then there you go, off you trot. Thank you for attending. Obviously there is them catch-up calls, and you can obviously have more onto additional training courses and stuff, which I haven't done yet, but that is something that
they do advertise them a lot on their Facebook pages as well, so definitely have a look.
It is really good, and obviously, and that gives you that chance to have that one-on-one time with someone to just see how your goals are going. Obviously, are you on track? Is there a reason why you're not? Is there anything you can discuss to sort of think, well, actually, why not try this? And I found them really useful from the programme.
I think I found a time management matrix really helpful, because it helps you really separate things, so you actually can plan out like how to sort of go about things more, so you don't overload yourself, or you actually can manage stuff better. And also just taking a break away from stuff when it gets a bit too much, because I do that loads now, because I used to just try and stick to it to just get it finished, but it's actually helped me to actually be like, no, I need a break from this and to take that and come back, because I think for a lot of people it's not that easy to do, because sometimes if you have like deadlines or whatever it may be, if you feel like you don't have a lot of time, you have all these things piling onto you, you just kind of want to get it all through. But it's actually helped me to actually be like, you know what, I need a break. I need to take a bit of time from it, and then I'll come back to it, and then it makes you more productive, I think, as well.
I think you can see, because I think sometimes, like, if you're doing something over and over again, so if you're doing a report or a deadline, you can look at it and you can just go completely blind to the words on the page or on the screen. So you just so actually taking that break and knowing that it's okay to do that way, I think society makes us feel like it's just, you have to hit them deadlines, and you're juggling loads of different balls and plates sort of thing, but actually it is a really good tool to say no, and have that sort of self-awareness to say, actually, no, I need to go and take 10 minutes, or you know what, I need to switch that off for today and come back to it tomorrow. I think that's a really good sort of tool to have, I think, and I think that's one of the things that's good. Another thing actually that was perception. That exercise, that was a really good exercise. Obviously just seeing it from different angles, and it even helps sort of like with my little one that actually if she's upset or frustrated at something, obviously I'll see it from a parent point of view. But actually going around that table and just seeing it from her point of view and someone, it was really interesting to think of obviously how the other people would be feeling in that situation. So I thought that was a really good exercise to do as well.
Yeah, I think that was useful for me as well, especially to like my mum and stuff, and putting my feet in her shoes. Especially when it maybe comes to like work and when she's obviously stressed out and things like that, and how it can affect both of us, and it kind of helps me to maybe understand it a bit more. And definitely like if she goes away, I'll definitely be able to understand how it will affect my younger brothers and sisters and things, and take it from their point of view of why they might act certain when she deploys to go off somewhere and something like that. It definitely would be really helpful. Did you meet any people? Did you make any sort of long-term contact with anyone?
We've kept our sort of like WhatsApp chat going. It's been a bit quiet through the summer. I think everyone's obviously gone on holidays and stuff. So I haven't actually physically met everyone, but we do live one. So one of the ladies was really scared of flying, and she has to put in there that she's actually got on a plane and like things like that. So it's like really encouraging to see that obviously things that they've done through the programme, actually people are obviously hitting the goals that they wanted. So so it's definitely obviously to make sort of new connections and obviously friendships as well. Have you met anyone?
Like at the same time, I think for me, I think I was the youngest person there. A lot of people were a lot older than me, so I think that's probably why it was hard for me to make sort of friends in that way. But like I say, I do still have the group chat, and I'm in it, and I can see everyone's like sort of messages and the things that they're doing, and how they are dealing with things, and what how they're applying what they actually learned to it. So it's like really useful. It's nice to see people are still chatting, and that there are people on there who have actually still meet up and things like that. So that's quite nice to see as well. Did you gain any insights from any of the others, like any of the person's success stories or anything they went through that they might have shared in the programme?
Rather than insights, just different ways people would deal with different situations. And obviously what different people sort of struggled with regarding to their obviously experiencing, even if they were veterans or spouses or children of. So not so much insight, but definitely maybe realise a lot. Even though we're in a community, we do have a lot of similarities. Everybody's story is different, and everybody's what's the word I'm looking for? I think just everyone's like stories are different, and obviously we should respect that in our own community, that we all are different, and what is a big thing for me might not be for you. Vice versa. And I think some of the strategies and things that we learned helped with that, helped where before maybe I wouldn't have had that very much in terms like, everyone should just crack on, everyone's really resilient, everyone's amazing, which everybody is. We're actually understanding that actually it's not the same for everybody all of the time.
Definitely agree. I think it was definitely nice to see like other people's thought processes, how they came to terms with their the few causes of their problems or things like that. Because at the start for me, it was actually kind of hard to figure out my goals until I actually heard other people's. Because it actually helped me identify actually I have something similar to that, or it just helps it to be a bit more relatable, I think. And definitely I think some people are more chatty than others, and it can be quite daunting, but I think that for me, because I'm a relatively shy person, it's actually quite useful because I think it does encourage you to want to speak, because then in your group, for example, like a lot of people do start sharing their stories and the similar issues that they might actually be struggling with and what their goals are, so it does actually help you to come out of your shell more. And I think one of the things from the instructor is, what you put in is exactly what you will get out. So you do definitely have to put 100 of yourself in there, because I know it will seem very sort of like raise my eyebrows, a bit suspicious, like what is all of these things? Not something you would do every day, but you do just definitely have to just put yourself in there, because it was very emotional. A lot of people, some people had, were in tears and things like that, sharing their stories, and it was really, really heartwarming. And it's you get a lot out of it, I think, more than you would expect. So, as a military sort of spouse, how do you think it has helped in that sort of context, mainly in your?
I think it's probably going to help with. It's definitely helped with the challenges of being not in control of things. So there was one sort of analogy one of the trainers used about you can only control what's in your shop, the shop window. You can't control what's in somebody else's. I think being a military spouse, a lot of the time, a lot of the control is in the Navy's hands, or whatever force they're in, and sometimes that can be quite dull because you want to know where the next draft is going to be, where you're going to live, is it going to impact the kids' school, and all them answers you don't have control over. So like that 6 months lead up to knowing where they're going to be going next, you're worrying about it already, where actually it's made me realise actually that's not, I don't need to worry about that anymore because I can't control that. I just need to concentrate on my shop and what I can obviously sort of influence and control and make sure when that comes in we do move, or there is an impact because obviously the other half goes away or whatever, that actually I'm in a better place to be able to cope with that. And obviously support the children through that, and obviously the connections with obviously all the local community and stuff like that. So I think it's made me realise that actually don't over think or worry about things. So I was definitely the person that would go, okay, so he's potentially gonna go away. I'd make 6 different scenarios for it. And I'd worry about, what if this happens? What if that happens? What if this happens? Actually, in the end, none of it happened, and I just spent my last 2 weeks stressing about the whole thing. So it's definitely made me realise I just need to that's never going to change. I'm never going to be able to control sort of that aspect of our life while he's in the military, as in where he's going to be based. So that's their shot, and I'm going to have to life. So that was I thought a really good analogy for me to really to make me just sort of simple term. But I think that was really useful for me as well. Just learning to sort of ignore things that are outside of your sort of control and things, because it is easy to get really nitpicky or obsessed about the smallest things. And your mind will just run away. Most of us are capable. It's like your brain thinks something and it starts filling in these blanks with actually things that haven't happened yet or the potential to happen, but actually you're worrying and you're stressing yourself out by doing it, where actually it might never come to fruition. So you've just wasted all that time and emotional energy that you didn't need to, where you could have put that into something else that obviously you go, for instance, whatever that may be, you could have put that emotional time and energy into to the goal that you wanted, whatever that may be. So yeah, I think that was the sort of biggest thing for me.
Yeah, I think the perspective thing with we had 3 chairs, I think it was.
Yeah.
I think that can be really useful, especially, like we said, with the whole baby thing and, partner dealing with all of that and then affecting the family and things like, my mum, because she's serving, you can get a bit upset because of sometimes if things don't work out and you get mad at them and you don't actually, it helps you to actually put things into their perspective and actually think in a way that they might be thinking about it and then actually kind of go like, oh, okay, maybe I should actually just chill out a bit.
Because they're the only person that you can say to. You can't go to the boss and be like, to the sort of thing. So yeah, it helps. You see it from you looking out, when you go into their shoes. Like your mum was in, Neil, I don't think he's ever come home and wanted to go, oh, I've just got short notice draft and I'm going away. Yeah. So actually it's quite, you put yourself in their shoes, actually it's quite a hard message for them to know that it's going to impact you or the children or like potentially your work, whatever you do and stuff. So it is good to think, well actually, okay, it's annoyed me or it's impacted me. Like, how's that person going to feel about it? How's it going to affect that person? Okay, it might just change the way you deal with the situation, I think. Where beforehand, as you say, it's not your fault. What are you doing this for? But it's not. So but no, I do like it. I think it's just like having all these little tools in the background ready for when you need them, I think. Yeah, definitely. Would you say you have achieved any of your goals or are still getting to achieve your goals? Yeah, so I didn't have any big goals. Some people come out starting new businesses and mine sort of smaller goals. So obviously one of mine was I wanted to do the Great South Run, so I've signed up for the Great South Run, and then obviously I'm starting to train. So I am on the way to getting that goal. And then obviously I think it's just it's hard. I'm quite content where I am now, but there is bigger goals that I know that are coming, but obviously that will probably start in the next year or so. Obviously going to buy a family home, for instance, obviously we need to sit down and discuss obviously finances and all them sort of things, and then that will be another goal, and there'll be certain things that we need to do and I need to do to obviously to prepare for that. So it definitely has helped with the process. Sometimes before I go, I want to do this, but then I never actually thought, how am I going to get there? I'd go, I never have done that. I should have done it. Because where I'm definitely more I'm going to do it. Okay, it's set in stone. So obviously wanting to do the Great South Run, I'm booking it. So it's booked now. Okay, so now we need to train. Where before I went, I'll do it, and then time had just gone on, and I would never have done it. And then the race day to come, and I'd have gone, I should have done that. It would put the time into it. So I'm working. I wouldn't say I've hit any of my goals, but I'm definitely working on them. And I think monthly calls are quite good, where you can obviously just talk about them openly, and it's not like, you're not doing what you said you were going to do. It's just, okay, so you haven't done what you thought you were going to do this month. Is there a particular reason? Have you thought about doing it this way? And it's an open discussion. It's not any negative, because at the end of the day, they're your goals. So if they have to shift, and that could be for a number of reasons. Obviously, life is ever changing, but it is good to know that you have got someone there. You can obviously say, actually I could do with a chat, and obviously they'll arrange that with you, and obviously you can have a chat with them.
Yeah, because even setting the goals was quite hard because you had 3 months, 6 months, I think a year and 5 years or something.
That's why.
I think most people found it easier to set goals that were like 3 months away than 5 months, and the way they make you write the goals now was quite hard because it's not just like listing them, you have to phrase it in a specific way. It was just I remember just thinking, what? Like, I don't know. Like, it does make your brain hurt, but it actually is useful because when you read it back, it's like sort of reading it in present tense, if that makes sense. I think the way you write it is sort of like you're actually there, or in some sort of way, if I might remember.
Bringing the goal to life.
Exactly.
Giving it a date and and stuff like that. So it brings it off the page a bit more.
Yeah, exactly. So I think that was really, I know a lot of people struggled because we were just all like, what? You know? But yeah, I think, like you said, the goals are definitely ever sort of lasting sort of thing. You are constantly working on them. I think I've definitely come out like a more relaxed person. Like I don't stress out as much as I used to, especially with work or anything. I just sort of like, if I'm stressing, I'm like just walking away from it and just taking time out. I don't know, for one of our colleagues, well, she's just a completely different person now. I think how she deals with her work and how she approaches things, that she, I think it definitely does help if you suffer from a bit of low self-esteem about certain things. Like if you don't feel like you're good at, this, that and the other, it does definitely sort of help to knock those negative thoughts out and make you sort of reprocess those and rewrite them, so you're not completely just bringing yourself down. It actually does push you a bit higher, because I think that's definitely what it's done for me. I don't think I bring myself down as much. I definitely used to a lot and no one wants that. So
and that's obviously it's hard because you're at the start of a blossoming career, right? So you know what I mean? And even I've had a career and then changed. And you feel like, oh, am I good enough? People, do they think I'm good enough? And actually, it's just giving you that reassurance and a bit of self-confidence. Like, well, actually, I am, and things aren't right. I can express it a bit. You know what I mean? I can express how I'm feeling, and I'm open to obviously discussing things. It is a really, really good program. I've never seen anything like it, or heard of anything like it before.
Neither had I. It's not at all what I was expecting at all.
Did you set some goals at the end? It was quite tough.
I think I set quite a bit. I can't remember a lot of them, especially long-term ones. But I know for the short-term ones, it was more about, I think, behavioural stuff and sort of just not bringing myself down with things. I think I am getting better. I'm a lot better than I used to be anyway. But there are obviously things, you set like what you want to do and things like that. Like if you want, I wanted to go to Japan or something, and I've always wanted to go there. This is one of your goals or things like that. So you can put things like that down. It can be a lot of different things. It doesn't have to be
because they have them categories of
where relationships and things like that. And it definitely helps tackle each part of your lifestyle and makes you probably realise what you're neglecting as well in your sort of life. So it was really quite useful for me, and I think definitely there are some that I still need to reach, or some I'm still working on, and it's just a sort of moving thing for me.
It's an ever moving sort of road, isn't it? And actually sort of, even if you achieve that goal, that then might open another goal.
Exactly.
It's definitely not something that you just sort of do and then sort of leave in a drawer. Again, if you revisit things and think about them, talk about them, it actually keeps it sort of alive. I think that warrior way of thinking that they just talk about.
Definitely.
And then
become warriors.
We are.
Yes. So would you, overall, from your experience, would you recommend the course?
Yes, definitely. I I'd recommend to any sort of serving people, spouses, veterans. I think we had a really good mix of people in ours.
Yeah.
So it wasn't just veterans, it wasn't just serving people. And I think that helped was actually the different experience that each sort of category people had. And when we talk about perspective as well, I think the serving person's perspective on stuff compared to their spouses, compared to veterans, it was all different. So I would say, anybody that feels they just need some time to focus on them and their inner self, and obviously just go for it. I think go with an open mind, don't go with any sort of preconception, just let the process happen. And I think everyone will take slightly different things out of it, and I think that's the point. It's not like, because it's not one size fits all. So I think the programme is designed that way, that actually it's about you thinking about yourself and how you perceive things, or how you deal with like situations and what's impacted you. That obviously influences how you react to situations now. So I think I would recommend it to anybody and anyone within sort of the service community.
I do as well. Especially even if you are like younger, and like you don't have to be obviously like married or in anywhere near that stage. Like there was someone in my group, I think she was fairly young, and she was serving in the one maybe. But you have like young people who just joined or things like that, who might be going through some struggles from missing home or building relationships there, whatever it might be. So I think it is for anyone, and it can help really do all aspects of your life. There was people who just, someone mentioned about getting on with their in-laws and things like that, and how to manage that, and just things like any sort of particular thing in any aspect of your life. Really, I think it is really helpful.
I think you've just gained your toolbox sooner than Nick and a bit older. So I think it is for everybody, and no one person's, what's the name we're looking for? Like, what is an issue for one isn't going to be an issue for someone else. I don't think that'll, like, for instance, just don't get up with the in-law. But actually, that might be a big impact to somebody. Actually, the in-laws are the only family they've got around, because obviously wherever they're based or
go away,
sort of thing. So actually, that relationship is a big thing. So I think just everybody's different. Everybody's sort of problems and experiences is different, and I think the programme is well rounded to that, because everybody has their time to speak. Everybody has the time to express their experiences. So there's no judgment. It's like a really safe space to get things out. With no judgment from anybody, and obviously the discussions stay within that room. And obviously you can get a lot from it. I think it's obviously it's free, like there's no reason.
And it's incredibly flexible as well. Like obviously we did it online, I think, didn't we? And you can actually go physically to residential to actually meet people in person, meet the instructors, and do it there. There are people on my course who had actually done residential ones and then done it online, so you don't have to just do the one course, like you said, and you can do different courses, and you actually can still go back and things like that. And there are people who do go back, every other, few months or whenever it's launching, just because they enjoy it, or just because they want to keep the practice they learn, in their mind and things like that, to help with whatever they may be going through, and just help make life a bit easier for them. Because I think it does definitely make things a lot easier, make how you deal with things a lot easier. Because I know when I came out there, I noticed straight away I was thinking differently and just reacting to things differently, and just ignoring things that I should have probably always ignored. But I definitely would like you said, go with an open mind. It's free. Why not try it?
Yeah.
Enough free stuff over here.
Yeah. Even if you take one or two things away from it that you didn't have before, it's one or two things that you didn't have previous to spend that time getting. So definitely would recommend it to anyone.
So that's the end of our podcast, and thank you very much for listening and tuning in. Please leave a like if you enjoyed it, and if you have any questions about us, the Naval Families Federation, and what we do, you can email us at contact@nff.org.uk or visit our website at nff.org.uk. We really hope you enjoyed learning about our experiences and learning about the Warrior Programme and what it does have to offer. If you would like to take part in the Warrior Programme or just see what it has to offer, you can look at their website at warriorprogramme.org.uk, and you can also check out their pages on Facebook, as they do post new courses and things that you can take part in. And don't forget, the Warrior Programme is also free, so there's no harm in trying and seeing what you can benefit from it. So thank you very much for listening again, and we'll see you next time.